Christmas is a time when most are making merry. There are, however, the few exceptions. Ebenezer Scrooge, King Herod, and of course, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch who lived just north of Whoville did not! The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be that his head wasn't screwed on quite right. It could be, perhaps, that his shoes were too tight. But I think the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hating those Whos, staring down from his cave with a sour, gritchy frown at the warm light of windows low in their town. For he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now hanging a mistletoe wreath. "And they're hanging their stockings!" he snarled with a sneer. "Tomorrow is Christmas! It's practically here!" And he growled with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming. "I must find a way to keep Christmas from coming." For tomorrow, he knew, all the Who girls and boys would wake up bright and early. They'd rush for their toys. And then, oh, the noise! That's the one thing he hated. The noise! Then the Who's young and old would sit down to a feast. And they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast. They would start on Who pudding and rare Who roast beast, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. And then they'd do something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Whos would start singing. They'd sing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing. The more the Grinch thought of the Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, "I must stop the whole thing! Why, for 53 years I've put up with it now. I must stop Christmas from coming! But how?" Then he got an idea. An awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. "I know just what to do." The Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat, and he chuckled and clucked. "What a great Grinchy trick! With this coat and this hat, I'll look just like Saint Nick. All I need is a reindeer." The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer are scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No, the Grinch simply said, "If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead." So he called his dog Max, and he took some red thread and tied a big horn on top of his head. Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, and he hitched up old Max. Then the Grinch said, "Hey!" and the sleigh started down where the Whos lay a snooze in the town. All their windows were dark. Quiet snow filled the air. All the Whos were all dreaming sweet dreams without care.